Hello, good morning everybody. Now we shall pass on to electrochemistry part 4 of BSc 6M chemistry paper 6.2 physical chemistry part. So in the syllabus we have the concept of polarization here. For a reversible cell, electric work obtained is exactly equal to the free energy decrease, that is minus delta G is equals to NF into E. This equation we have already seen. However, for an irreversible cell, the electrical energy available for doing work is less than the free energy decrease, that is minus delta G is greater than NF into E. Therefore, the potential difference maintained to carry out the electrolysis is greater than the reversible EMF of the reversible cell. A cell of this type thus requires more applied voltage than the theoretical for electrolysis and is said to be polarized. The excess voltage is called as polarized voltage and the phenomenon is referred to as polarization. For example, we can consider the Daniell cell, where Daniell cell can be represented as Zn bar Zn2 plus double bar Cu2 plus bar Cu, in which activity of each ionic species is unity. That means concentration of Zn2 plus ions and concentration of Cu2 plus ions are one unity only. The EMF of the cell is 1.1 volts. We have calculated earlier. It is at 298 degree Kelvin. When the two electrodes are connected, the overall cell reaction is Zn plus Cu2 plus aqua giving rise to Zn2 plus aqua plus Cu proceeds. To reverse this reaction, an external source of EMF must be connected to the negative electrode of the cell and positive to positive. So long as the applied voltage is less than 1.1 volts, the electrons will flow from zinc to copper externally. When the applied voltage is equal to 1.1 volts, no current will flow in either direction. Finally, when the applied voltage exceeds that of the cell, that is, it is greater than 1.1 volt, the electrons from the external battery will enter at zinc electrode and leave the copper electrode. The reaction proceeds in the reverse direction, that is, copper starts dissolving and zinc gets deposited on the electrode. Now the reaction is Cu plus Zn2 plus giving rise to Cu2 plus Zn. This is due to polarization. That means when the applied EMF is greater than the cell EMF, standard cell EMF there, then the electrodes will be polarized so that the complete reaction will be reversed. That's how it gives you a reversible reaction of Zn Cu2 plus giving rise to Zn2 plus Cu. Now it has been reversible by taking Cu plus Zn2 plus giving rise to Cu2 plus Zn. So by applying an extra potential over and above the standard cell potential, we can reverse the reaction. This process we call it as polarization. Next is over potential or over voltage. The additional potential over and above the standard electrode potential which is needed to secure the evolution of gas at any electrode, and that is called as over potential, and that's equals to E minus E0, where E is applied potential externally and E0 is the standard cell potential. Hydrogen over voltage. H plus ions will discharge at the cathode at E is equals to 0.0 volts. We have seen that in standard hydrogen electrode, that electrode potential is always considered as 0 volts. It has been experimentally found to be nearly true using platinum black as cathode. You can remember here we have used platinum black in standard hydrogen electrode. However, with other metals, other metal electrodes like mercury, zinc, the voltage needed for the discharge of H plus ions for the evolution of hydrogen gas is considerably higher than 0 volts. the difference between the observed voltage and standard half reaction voltage E0 is called as the hydrogen over voltage or hydrogen over potential. So that over potential required for the evolution of hydrogen gas, that is called as hydrogen over potential. Hydrogen over potentials for some metal cathodes in dilute sulfuric acid are, this is the table representing how this hydrogen over potential differs for different metals when it is taken as a cathode in dilute sulfuric acids. For mercury, over potential is 0.78 volts. For zinc, over potential is 0.70 volts. For copper, it is 0.23 volts. For silver, it is 0.15 volts. For platinum black, it is 0. Therefore, by this table, we can confer that here by using platinum black as the electrode, it is very easy to liberate or discharge H plus ions and liberate hydrogen gas there. And it is very difficult with the mercury because its over potential is 0.78 volts. So more energy we have to spend it there. That's why we have to apply more potential so that we can liberate hydrogen gas with by taking mercury as the cathode. So that's how this table indicates that platinum black is very easily liberates hydrogen gas, whereas with mercury it is very difficult to liberate hydrogen gas. That is the concept of hydrogen over voltage. Now in the syllabus we have the concept of Western standard cell. A standard cell is one which provides a constant and accurately known EMF. The Western cadmium cell is most widely used standard cell and it is constructed in H-shaped glass tube. You can observe the diagram there. A positive electrode consists of mercury covered with a paste of solid mercurous sulfate, that is Hg2SO4, over which a layer of cadmium sulfate crystals, that is CdSO4 2/3H2O. The negative electrode is 12.5% cadmium amalgam, that is Cd in bracket Hg, covered with cadmium sulfate crystals. The entire cell is filled with saturated cadmium sulfate solution and it is sealed. Now the cell reactions are, it has been given there. At anode, cadmium plus SO4 2 minus giving rise to cadmium sulfate plus electrons are released. This is oxidation. At cathode, Hg2SO4 plus 2 electrons giving rise to 2Hg plus SO4 2 minus. This is the reduction because we are observing that here electrons have been accepted. Overall reaction of this standard cadmium cell is Cd, that means cadmium plus Hg2SO4 giving rise to CdSO4 plus 2Hg. For this, the EMF of the cadmium cell standard cell is 1.0183 volts at 20 degrees centigrade, and it varies only very slightly of the order of 0.0000406 volt per degree, very minute with change of temperature. The EMF remains constant for many years. This is the concept of Western standard cell. Now we shall see about concentration cells. So concentration cells have been widely studied in this syllabus here. We have two types of concentration cells, electrode concentration cells and electrolyte concentration cells, and as far as this syllabus is concerned, only electrolyte concentration cells are there as far as the 6M syllabus is concerned. Now electrolyte concentration cells, the cells in which the two electrodes are of same material and dipped in two solutions of the same electrolyte, though of different concentrations, are called as electrolyte concentration cells. The two solutions may be in actual contact or not. Depending on this, we have two types of electrolyte concentration cells. First one, concentration cells without transport, that means without transference. Remember, here we have salt bridge. That's why there is no question of liquid junction potential. the concentration cell in which the two electrolyte solutions are not in direct contact and the transfer of ions from one electrolytic solution to the other does not take place directly, and it is called as concentration cell without transport. The EMF arises from the difference in concentrations of the electrolytic solutions. Generally, we can design such type of cells there by taking two simple cells. We can consider a simple cell here. A concentration cell without transport can be assembled if two simple cells with electrodes reversible with respect to the ions constituting the electrolyte are oppositely combined. We can consider a simple chemical cell whose electrodes are reversible with respect to H plus ions and Cl minus ions. We can represent that simple cell as hydrogen gas 1 atmosphere bar HCl. Activity of HCl is A1, AgCl solid bar Az. It is a very simple cell. For this, we can write down the cell reactions with respect to anode and cathode. At anode, half H2 giving rise to H plus plus electron. So, electron has been released here, that is oxidation, it is taking place at anode. And number of electrons exchanged is equals to 1, that is N is equals to 1. Then at cathode, AgCl plus electron giving rise to Az plus Cl minus. So, this is reduction where electrons have been accepted. Here also N is equals to 1. So, considering the overall reaction here, we can see that half H2 plus AgCl solid giving rise to Ags plus HCl of activity A1. This is overall reaction for that simple cell what we have considered. So, we can write down the expression for the EMF of the cell for this simple cell by using our Nernst equation. So, E1 is equals to E0 minus 2.303 RT by F into log of activity of HCl plus activity of Ag solid divided by activity of hydrogen raised to power half into activity of AgCl. The quantities in the bracket represents the equilibrium constant because the reaction is at equilibrium. So, it is the ratio of product of concentration of the products to the product of concentration of the reactants. So, in this equation, since activity of solid is arbitrarily taken as unity and activity of gas is equal to its pressure, we get E1 is equals to E0 minus 2.303 RT by F into log of A1, because activity of HCl only remains there, remaining quantities, that is activity of Ag solid is 1, activity of hydrogen is 1, and activity of silver chloride being solid, it is also equal to 1. So, all are getting cancelled, only we are left with activity of HCl, and we know that activity of HCl is A1. That is how the equation will be E1 is equals to E0 minus 2.303 RT by F into log A1. Call that as equation 1. Now, let us consider the same cell but with different activity of HCl, that is A2. We can write down the cell representation for this simple cell as H2 gas 1 atmosphere bar HCl, AgCl solid bar Az. Only the change is we have taken HCl at a different activity, that is concentration of HCl is different, that is A2. Similarly, we can write down the cell reaction as above. For this simple cell, we can write down the overall cell reaction as half H2 1 atmosphere plus AgCl solid giving rise to Ag solid plus HCl A2. And similarly, the EMF of the cell can also be written as E2 is equals to E0 minus 2.303 RT by F into log A2. So, for these two simple cells, only the difference is activity of HCl. In first case, it is A1. In the second case, it is A2. Call that as equation 2. If these two simple cells are connected so as to oppose each other, we are connecting it oppositely, then we can get what is called as concentration cell without transport, and that can be represented as H2 gas 1 atmosphere bar HCl, AgCl solid bar Az. That was a simple cell. The second cell, we are just reversing it, combining oppositely. That's how it becomes Az bar AgCl solid HCl bar H2 gas 1 atmosphere. Therefore, when you are connecting it oppositely there, that silver comes in the middle there. Since both the simple cells are combined oppositely, the overall cell reaction of this concentration cell without transport will be the difference of the above cell reactions. Because we are connected in the opposite direction there, the difference of the cell reaction we have to take it there. That's how we can take the difference of these two equations, half H2 gas 1 atmosphere plus Ag solid giving rise to Ag solid plus HCl this is for equation 1, and half H2 gas 1 atmosphere plus Ag solid giving rise to Ags plus HCl this is for equation 2. Subtracting, we can get 0 plus 0 giving rise to HCl minus HCl equation 1 minus equation 2. That's how we can get HCl minus HCl Rewriting that equation, we can write it as HCl at activity A2 giving rise to HCl of activity A1. Similarly, the EMF of the cell is obtained by subtracting E2 from E1. Cell reactions, equation 2 has been subtracted in equation 1. Like that, EMF also we have taken subtracting E2 from E1. We have written E1 is equals to E0 minus 2.03 RT by F into log A1 minus of E2 is equals to E0 minus 2.03 RT by F into log A2. Subtracting, we can get E1 minus E2 is equals to 2.03 RT by F into log of A2 minus log of A1. Simplifying that becomes E is equals to 2.03 RT by F into log of A2 by A1, where A2 is greater than A1. If A2 is greater than A1, then E will be positive. Therefore, the reaction will be spontaneous. So, conclusions from this equation 3, you can call that equation as 3 there. It follows that EMF of the cell without transport depends on the difference in concentration of solutions in both the sides. For EMF of the cell to be positive, A2 should be greater than A1. The other examples are also represented there with respect to this concentration cell without transport. Now we shall see concentration cell with transport. Concentration cell with transport or concentration cells with liquid junction. The cells in which two solutions containing the same electrolyte but at different concentrations are in direct contact and the identical electrodes reversible to either ion of the electrolyte are placed in these solutions are called as concentration cells with transport. In these cells, the liquid junction potential at the interface of two solutions is taken into account. The typical concentration cell with transport, we can represent it as platinum, hydrogen, 1 atmosphere bar HCl of activity A1. It is in communication with HCl bar H2 at 1 atmosphere platinum. And we can see that this HCl of activity A1 and HCl of activity A2, they are in direct contact with each other. There is no salt bridge at all. The electrode reactions for each Faraday of electricity drawn from the cell, we can write it as at left electrode, oxidation takes place. Therefore, the reaction can be written as half H2 giving rise to H plus of activity A1 plus electron. Call that as equation 1. Like that, right electrode, reduction takes place. H plus of activity A2 receives that electron giving rise to half H2. Call that as equation 2. Overall reaction of this cell, we can get it by adding equations 1 and 2. By taking that, we can have that equation as H plus A2 giving rise to H plus of activity A1. Call that as equation 3. Hence, when the current flows, the H plus ion generated at the left electrode are consumed at the right electrode. Since the solutions are in direct contact with each other, the ions H plus and Cl minus are free to move from one solution to the other with the flow of current in the cell. This current in the cell is composed, of course, not of free electrons but of negative chloride ions moving from right to left and positive H plus ions moving across the junction from left to right. So, transfer at liquid junction potential, we are observing it here. H plus ions are moving from left to right and Cl minus ions are moving from right to left. So, transfer at liquid junction, here in this case A2 will be greater than equal to A2 is greater than E1. Now, let TA is equals to transport number of Cl minus and Tc is the transport number of H plus ions. Then, for every Faraday of electricity passing through the cell, Tc Faraday is carried out by Tc gram ion of H plus from left to right, that is from solution of activity A1 to A2. Thus, we can write Tc into H plus A1 is equals to Tc into H plus A2. Call that as equation 4. Also, Ta Faraday of electricity will be carried out by Ta grams ion of Cl minus from right to left. That is from solution of activity A2 to A1. Thus, we can write Ta into Cl minus A2 giving rise to Ta into Cl minus A1. Call that as equation 5. Therefore, in order to obtain the net transfer of material, we must add equations 3, 4 and 5. We thus get for the overall process of the cell. Equation 3 is for oxidation and reduction, and equation 4 and 5 for this transport numbers of anion and cation. So, adding these equations 3, 4, 5, we can get the equation as H plus A2 plus Tc H plus A1 plus Ta into Cl minus A2 is equals to H plus A1 plus Tc into H plus A2 plus Ta into Cl minus A1. And we know that this transport numbers Ta plus Tc is equals to 1. So that we can have an expression for Tc as 1 minus Ta, and we can substitute wherever Tc is there, you can substitute 1 minus Ta. Therefore, that equation takes the form H plus A2 plus 1 minus Ta into H plus A1 plus Ta into Cl minus A2 is equals to H plus A1 plus 1 minus Ta into H plus A2 plus Ta into Cl minus A1. So, that equation reduces to the form of Ta into H plus A2 plus Ta into Cl minus A2 is equals to Ta into H plus A1 plus Ta into Cl minus A1. So, we have taken A2s at one side and A1s at other side. Common things, they have been cancelled at both the left hand side and right hand side. This can be, equation can be again reduced to Ta H plus A2 plus Cl minus A2 giving rise to Ta H plus A1 plus Cl minus A1. So, H plus and Cl minus refer to activity A2 at the LHS, and H plus and Cl minus refer to HCl of activity A1. That's how we can write it as Ta into HCl A2 is equals to Ta into HCl of A1. Call that as equation 6. So, equation 6 shows that Ta equivalents of HCl are transferred from solution of activity A2 to the solution of activity A1 for the passage of every Faraday of electricity. The EMF of complete cell will be given by that equation 6, and that E is equals to minus 2.303 RT by F into log of A1 raised to power Ta divided by A2 raised to power Ta, and that's equals to minus 2.303 RT by F into log of A1 by A2 raised to power Ta. That can be written as E is equals to minus 2.303 RT into Ta by F into log of A1 by A2, or E is equals to 2.303 RT into Ta by F into log of A2 by A1. So, because we have replaced numerator and denominator here, that minus sign goes off. That's how E is equals to 2.303 RT into Ta by F into log of A2 by A1. Here, noting that for the cell reaction to be spontaneous, E must be positive. Hence, A2 should be greater than A1. Now, we know that activity is equals to m square into gamma square, where m is molality and gamma is activity coefficient of the electrolyte. Then that equation can be written as E is equals to 2.303 RT into Ta by F into log of m2 square gamma 2 square divided by m1 square gamma 1 square. Therefore, the equation can be reduced to form of E is equals to 2 into 2.303 RT into Ta by F into log of m2 gamma 2 by m1 gamma 1. Conclusions. Call that as equation 7. Conclusions. From the knowledge of molality, activity coefficient and transport number of the ion other than the one in which electrodes are reversible, E can be calculated. However, when the electrodes are reversible to an ion, as in the cell, that equation can be modified as where electrodes are reversible to Cl minus ion, then the net transfer will be given by Tc of HCl A1 is equals to Tc of HCl A2. Therefore, EMF of the cell can be written as 2.303 RT into Tc by F into log of A1 by A2, where A1 is greater than A2. Then the cell reaction will be spontaneous. The above equation in terms of M, molarity, and gamma, activity coefficient, will be E cell is equals to 2 into 2.303 RT into Tc by F into log of M1 gamma 1 by M2 gamma 2. Call that as equation 8. The EMF of the cell given by that equation 7 or 8 includes the liquid junction potential. That is, E cell is equals to E1 plus E2 plus Ej. That is liquid junction potential. Now, concept of liquid junction potential. When two electrolytic solutions of different concentrations are brought in contact with one another, a potential difference develops at the junction of two solutions, and this potential difference is called as liquid junction potential. The liquid junction potential arises mainly due to unequal rates of diffusion of ions across the junction. In other words, it is due to the difference in migration velocities of ions. Now consider the following cell: platinum, hydrogen gas bar HCl at activity A1 in communication with HCl of activity A2 bar H2 gas platinum. Here in this case we can consider A1 activity is greater than A2 activity. There will be diffusion of electrolyte from solution of higher concentration to that of lower concentration, because different ions will have different velocities. They tend to diffuse across the boundary or the junction at different speeds. Both H plus and Cl minus ions diffuse from concentrated solution to dilute solution. The ionic velocity of H plus ions is greater than that of the Cl minus. So, H plus ions will diffuse more rapidly from A1 to A2. The dilute solution in second compartment will thus become positively charged with respect to solution in compartment 1. As a result of this, concentrated solution in compartment 1 is left with an excess of Cl minus ions and thus acquires a negative charge. Hence, an electrical double layer of positive and negative charges is formed at the junction of two solutions, and the potential difference is developed at the junction, and it is called as liquid junction potential. Thus, we can say that the liquid junction potential is due to difference in velocity of ions. The magnitude of liquid junction potential depends upon the relative speed of the ions. If two ions are moving with the same speed, there will be no liquid junction potential. The liquid junction potential cannot be measured directly, but it can be calculated. How can you calculate the liquid junction potential? The liquid junction potential can be calculated by considering the equations derived from the EMF of the concentration cell and with and without transport. The concentration cell with transport includes the liquid junction potential. That is, it is the sum of the two electrodes potentials and liquid junction potential. So, E is equals to E1 plus E2 plus Ej. In case of concentration cell without transport, the EMF is equal to the sum of two electrode potentials. Hence, EMF of such cell will be given by E is equals to E1 plus E2. Here, there is no liquid junction potential. Therefore, there is no Ej. Hence, Ej is equals to EMF of the cell with transport minus EMF of the cell without transport. Now, let us consider the following concentration cell with transport as we considered earlier. So, here it is platinum H2 1 atmosphere bar HCl of activity A1 in communication with HCl of activity A2 bar H2 1 atmosphere platinum. So, at the left hand side reduction takes place, at the right hand side oxidation takes place, and at the right hand side reduction takes place. So, here it is A2 is greater than A1. So, at the center, at the junction of two HCl's of activity A1 and A2, we are observing that liquid junction potential arises. where that arrow mark has been shown there. The overall reaction of the cell is H plus of activity A2 giving rise to H plus of activity A1. So also we can write that equation as TA into HCl of activity A2 is equals to TA into HCl of activity E1. Therefore, E is equals to E1 plus E2 plus EJ, and that's equals to 2 into 2.303 into TA into RT by F into log of M2 gamma 2 by M1 gamma 1. Call that as equation 1. The same cell when it is without transport. So without transport we are using salt bridge. That's how liquid junction potential is eliminated there. So representation is PT platinum comma H2 1 atmosphere bar HCl of activity A1, and we have a salt bridge there, then HCl of activity A2 bar H2 at 1 atmospheric pressure platinum. So you can observe it here, HCl of activity A1 and HCl of activity A2 are not in direct contact. They have been separated by means of a salt bridge. That's why liquid junction potential has been eliminated. The overall reaction in this cell, H plus of activity A2 giving rise to H plus of activity E1. Therefore, E is equals to E1 plus E2, and that is equal to 2.303 RT by F into log of A2 by A1. Therefore, EMF with transport is equals to 2.303 RT by F into log of M2 gamma 2 by M1 gamma 1. Subtracting equation 2 from equation 1, we get EMF with transport minus EMF without transport is equals to EJ, and that's equals to 2 into 2.303 into TA into RT by F minus of 2.303 RT by F into log of M2 gamma 2 by M1 gamma 1. Simplifying that, we can get an expression for EJ as 2.303 RT by F into 2 TA minus 1 into log of M2 gamma 2 by M1 gamma 1. And we know that TA plus TC is equals to 1. We can substitute that and we can get that 2 TA minus 1 is equals to 2 TA minus of TA plus TC. So for 1 we are substituting TA plus TC, and that equation reduced to TA minus TC. Substituting that, we can get an expression for liquid junction potential EJ is equals to 2.303 RT into TA minus TC by F into log of M2 gamma 2 by M1 gamma 1. Call that as equation 3. So from this equation 3, we can draw the following conclusions. First one, sign as well as magnitude of liquid junction potential, that is EJ, depends on transport number of anions and cations. If TA is equals to TC, then EJ will be 0. So in the numerator, TA minus TC is equal to 0. So 0 multiplied by anything is always become to 0. Then EJ will be equal to 0. If TA is greater than TC, then EJ will be positive. Hence, it will be add up to the EMF of the cell. If TA is less than TC, then EJ will be negative. Hence, it will be operate to yield the EMF of the cell less than E1 plus E2. That's how can you eliminate the liquid junction potential? So when the liquid junction is present, the EMF of the cell is E cell is equals to E1 plus E2 plus EJ. In most cases, EJ cannot be measured separately. EJ interferes with the exact measurement of the cell. Therefore, EJ should be eliminated. The following two methods are generally employed to eliminate the liquid junction potential. First one is introduction of the salt bridge and the addition of indifferent electrolytes. Salt bridge, we are using it. So what is the salt bridge means? This is a device to minimize or eliminate the liquid junction potential, and it is generally prepared from agar-agar solution containing some salt like KCl, KNO3, NH4Cl, NH4NO3, etc. The salt is added to agar-agar solution to make it conducting. The salt bridge is interposed here, and by the addition of indifferent electrolytes also we can eliminate the liquid junction potential. So here by using salt bridge we can eliminate the liquid junction potential.